let me share with you one of the most important questions that you'll ever ask yourself. And you're going to ask this over and over and over again. And that is, what do you do when things go right? I was working with a dealership last week, and we've been coaching for months now on trying to get a 9-person sales team to really come together, to be a team. We needed to get rid of some low performers that had no business being in the business and selling cars, that were just burning through guests and burning through opportunities to do business and just messing them up. We also had a couple of pretty good, talented people, but high drama, high talent, high drama. And all they were doing was putting a bunch of drama into the system. And we needed to get rid of that. And you've heard me in previous episodes talk about the drama tax and the fact that when you allow drama on your team and you don't stamp it out, you don't address it, you don't lead your way through it, there's a tax you pay. And you pay that tax in your time, your energy, your effort, your resources, and your money. This team had really done some great work. And the sales manager, which is who I was coaching, the GSM, we were really working through what he had done, what had not happened, how they were back on track. You could see their numbers going up, their gross profits were going up, their units were growing up, and customer experience was going up. So I asked him, I said, so what are you going to do now with your drama rebate? And he said, what do you mean? I said, now that you're done paying a drama tax, you're actually getting a drama rebate. In other words, you're getting a rebate of your time, your energy, your effort. How are you going to turn around and invest that? How are you going to take that drama rebate and invest it in more sales, more gross profit, and a better customer experience? Because you think about it, with a tax rebate, don't you know, poor friends who they get a tax rebate, and what do? They go spend it, buy more stuff on credit, take out a larger loan. But really smart people, they get a tax rebate, and what do? They invest it so that it continues to grow and return. And they said, now that you're not having to spend all that time chasing everything around and figuring out, oh no, what do I do? How do I set this up? Where do I go? How do I put this to happen? You're not chasing your tail on all that drama, all that problem, pouring time, energy, and effort into constantly retraining that low performer. Now that you've built your team and the standards are the standards, and you've put everybody where they need them to be, how are you going to reinvest your drama rebate? And he just stopped. And he said, Chris, I never even thought about that. I said, let's do that. Grab a pencil, grab a piece of paper, and let's start writing down. Let's talk through that. Where can you take that drama rebate and invest it so you can sell more new and used cars for a higher variable margin with a more elevated customer experience? And we looked at all three of those areas. Where has the customer experience been neglected or not as on point and consistent as you wanted? And he jotted a few things down. And then I said, now, where are you missing some margin? Where have you put some time, energy, and effort that you're not wasting on the drama anymore that you can invest in getting more margin? They said, now let's look at your new car sales and your used car sales. Where can you pick up more units and how can you invest in that? And this led to an incredibly powerful 35-minute conversation on how he could take and reinvest his drama rebate into production in his store. And so that's your assignment for today. Every day we got to cross the insight to action bridge. Let's cross the insight to action bridge this way. Today, what can you do to absolutely start spending your drama rebate? If you've been following along in the war room, I know you've made progress. I know you've eliminated drama. I know you've freed up some time, energy, and effort. Now let's get strategic and intentional on how to invest that. And so I'd like you to look and say, with some of the time and energy that you freed up, as you've made your team more productive, ask yourself these three questions. How can I invest that drama rebate of time, energy, and effort into selling more new and used cars? How specifically? What things can you do to start incrementally selling 1, 2, 3, 4 more cars? Now, number two, how can you take that time, energy, and effort and invest it into a higher or better variable margin? Where specifically can you pick up a little more margin, pick up a little more gross, pick up a little more actual profit in terms of what you're doing? And then third, how can you elevate the customer experience in two ways? Make it better and more consistent. An elevated customer experience always has those two elements. It's elevated, it's better than what people expect, and it's more consistent than anybody else in the market. And if you can do those things, what you're going to find is you have the ability to take the drama tax and all the time, energy, and effort you spend on that and get it back as a drama rebate through great, focused, high-performance leadership by being an elite operator. And then you take that drama rebate and you reinvest it in selling more new and used cars for a higher variable margin with a more elevated and consistent customer experience. And if you can do that, you can absolutely go out today, tomorrow, and every day and create the kind of leadership fire that will drive your store forward. And with that, I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.